How do you
So
want
I
to do
kind of
this?
just want to say, like, I know you guys have gotten a lot of information. You've heard a lot of things, and we know that this may resonate. Like, we know that beyond this conversation, there might be some people who this really resonates with. That they really want to know how to kind of break out of this cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and so we wanna we want to be like practical as well. Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
we want to make sure that you walk away with tangible solutions, right? Like things that you can actually do, people that you can reach out to, and a concrete way for you to move forward if that's what you really desire. Like if you see yourself and you really want to make that change, we want to make sure that you walk away feeling empowered to do that. And that uh, yeah. And also, we want to shift the narrative. We want men to be able to talk to men. We want you to be able to, reach out to help for help. Like I know a lot of men feel uncomfortable talking to other men about their problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's important to have Dathan here. I want like we want to break that, you know, idea. We want to like unmask the silence. We want to
Mm-hmm.
get y'all talking. It's
So how do you talk to another man about like abuse, like being a domestic violence type person? Like that doesn't seem like the easiest thing to do.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
mm-mm.
I've hung out several circles.
Mm-hmm.
The one time one of my friends said like, "Yo, I came home. She was messing with another a dude. He was in jail or whatever. He came home. She was messing with another dude, and I guess they had some type of confrontation where she was basically like, you ain't paying the bills around here. Like, this is my house.
Oh,
You live here with me,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
and I was faithful while you was gone as much as I could, and it is what it is." And he like, slapped her, which did not change much for her. It actually made not positively. It actually made her hate him because and he was like, "Bro, I left her with mad money. I took care of her before I left. She bothered me while I was gone. And so I did what I did, and bro, she started acting like this, she started acting like that." And I was like, bro, it was one thing for you to question her on what happened while you was gone. You was gone for 7 years.
Oh.
It's
Oh, he
one
was
thing.
in jail. He was
Yeah,
in jail.
yeah. You
Okay,
was gone
got
for
it.
seven
Got it.
Just
years.
went to go to the store.
I was like, I thought I thought it was like a
Just get
week
some
or
Cocoa
two. She was
Puffs
like,
and
he
milk.
was like away. Oh, he was in jail.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
bro, you was gone for a minute, bro. Like, I understand loyalty and all that, but I feel like she felt like she had to fend for herself, right? I don't know. I can't call what the situation is, but I think that when you hit her, something snapped.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that she had held you down for that long and all of that, it was kind of like the slap of audacity. It was like, and I don't think she respected you after that. He was like, bro, she shouldn't have violated me. And I was like, but did she owe you blood?
Mm.
Did she owe you blood?
That's a gem. I'm stealing that one.
I was like,
Does
would
she owe
you?
you blood?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Even the students I work with, like you punched her. Do you owe you blood though?
yeah, you know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that. Yeah.
I was like, you don't think that could fracture something in a person's love for you if they wasn't expecting that from you, and then you do something like that to them? You don't think that could? And he was like, bro, she shouldn't have. And I keep going back to that conversation because as much as we spoke about it, he couldn't align with I wasn't supposed to hit her.
Yeah.
He could not. We had a conversation for like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went to a Prospect Park. Me and him. Niggas don't just do that neither.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked, like we sat and talked because life was lifing. And I was just like, and it actually got really worse. He wound up getting taken to court after that.
Mm.
She contacted the PO. You know what I'm saying? Like it became a thing, and to this day she hates him.
Mm-hmm.
But it started there.
Mm-hmm.
And he cannot understand. So my thing is, we're having a conversation was, this is your child's mother. You have to repair that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to repair that, you have to acknowledge where you was wrong.
Absolutely.
You have to. And you have to be able to say that to her. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, but you keep standing on it.
That's what I'm saying. How do we get to the place where they understand that what they did is wrong?
Yeah, but you see, but I'm so glad you brought that up. Before I became a licensed mental health therapist, I worked on Rikers Island, and that sounds like 98% of the cases, right? And now that I'm doing licensed mental health therapy on telehealth, I'm talking to these brothers on Zoom, Guyana, Jamaica, which I will say, shout out to y'all, more dudes from the culture is coming out, and similar situation. Yeah, shorty was cheating on me, da da da. Okay, cool. How'd it make you feel? Fuck, F up, man. How'd it make you feel? She shouldn't have did that to me. I held her down. How'd it make? Sometimes for 15 minutes, and I'll just keep at. How did it make you feel, bro?
I don't even know.
You know what I'm saying?
That does not translate.
My women clients. He cheated on me and da da. How did it make you feel? Hurt, disappointed, upset, disgusted. They got all the synonyms. There's an emotional wheel that brothers y'all can Google. Here's a tangible tool. Google the wheel of emotions, and there's over 80 feelings. And I'd be like, just mad? Okay, I'll pull up that chart, and they'll start crying. Hurt, disappointed. That's where we gotta start with. How do you feel? Right? It sounds so simple, but it sucks. We've been there, right? I buy you something, you buy me something. Oh yeah, everybody buying everybody around. Nobody gonna buy me around. How you feel? I'm good, son. I'm good, son. No, you not, bro. You hurt. They hurt your feelings. It's okay.
Yo, it's one of the hardest things to say is something hurt your feelings.
It is.
And why?
It is. And then a lot of it too is like, we fall, get up, stop crying. Oh, if you come home crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about, right? All of those, we've all heard it from when we growing up, right? Oh, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. You know how damaging that is to say to a little boy?
And we've all heard it.
So I want to cry, but I got to stop before you make me cry more. Like, what do I do? Right? So now back to this gentleman, right? He's saying she hurt my feelings. In jail too, I feel betrayed. You know how it feels to feel betrayed? But if that was my sister, I would have told her, girl, you better not wait no 7 years, right? But if he was my client, right, I would ask him some questions. Would you wait 7 years, brother? You know what I'm saying? Could you put yourself in her shoes? Right? Imagine her first year where she was loyal or maybe faithful. Right? And then her dudes is trying to holler at her and she like, nah, I'm loyal, I'm faithful, I'm holding my dude down. And you right? They start smiling, right? How'd that make you feel? Yeah, it make me feel good when she was talking that loyalty joint. And then here we go. So who's in control of your emotions? Not you, brother. And that's why they make millions of dollars off of us in the prison system. Somebody's on a yacht right now off of the fact that we lack the ability to manage our emotions, right? We don't know how to feel, and we don't know how to express our feelings, and we don't know how to pause and think and say, if I slap her, I might get a call from the PO, right? And as you know this one about the brain, when this prefrontal cortex is closed, we make the worst decisions, right? When it's open, we make the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? We hit that last 0.1 second, 0.1 second left. How, Steph Curry hit it from that far? Because we're that great when our prefrontal cortex is open.
What does it control?
Our decision making. Great question, brother. Our ability to make decisions. Our ability to decide if I'm going to put on a condom or not. Our ability to decide if, do I owe her blood? Does she owe me blood? Right? The ability, or, I'm going to take the A train instead of the C train. Basic stuff.
Why does it close?
Excitement, anger, fear, alcohol, substances. Take somebody on New Year's Eve, right? This is my favorite, right? They go into their door and they can't put their key in the door. The place they live at for all their life, this is closed, right? That alcohol helped you close this up. So I can't put my key in the door, man. I picked something that basic, right? Because now what happens? Your neighbor gives you some water. You eat some food. The liquor wears off, right? We right? You put your boop in. Your eye vision didn't get bigger, right? You didn't get smarter. This opened up. And what if all of our children knew that? What if we taught them? So it's not a Kevin thing. It's a brain thing, right? He smacked her because of a brain thing. If he knew about his brain, right? And I'm not condoning the brother, right? Let's keep our hands to ourselves, brother. We know that, right? If we knew that, all of us would operate differently from a different standpoint. And then how do we get there? The deep breaths, the meditations, the long walks, the good music. But when this is closed and people know that, pharmaceutical companies know that. The sports mother know that. Music companies know that, right? They all sit around big old table. Alcohol guy, they know that. They know that. And we taught them that. It's on our caves, right? In Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Meditation. We tease white people for it back in the days. Oh, she's in the market telling Jomny, calm down, take a deep breath, right? The comedians would make jokes about it, and my mother would have just got the whip and beat me. That's a part of our culture. But they got that from us. Look how it switched to where now it's corny to talk to someone, to meditate.
That's so crazy.
To breathe. They done switched it up on us, brother.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. And so, how do we get there?
Yes.
Asking, and you gotta keep at, bro, how did it make you feel, bro? I'm gonna keep asking you till you tell me. Because we can't talk about how to cope. We can't talk about how to manage your emotions. What emotions? You don't got any.
You
Tough
don't
guy.
even know what you feeling. Wow.
How can I diagnose you and address this issue? Right? You go to the doctor. What's wrong? I don't know. Nah, you be like, yo, my head hurt. Yo, I got pneumonia. Yo, I've been throwing up. Da. Right?
You're able to say the symptoms so I can research it and figure out what to do.
That is hurt.
But I'm not able to register emotional trauma. I can't. Yo, I'm talking to my homeboy in the corner. I'm like, yeah, that's messed up. How did that make you feel? Yo, they do the exact same thing. They just keep going.
Yeah.
Down
Talking about what they did or
it's
what
not
happened.
about
Yeah.
me or something happened to me. They're just trying to explain to you so that you can kind of emotionally, but like there's a trauma, but like maybe if I keep telling you, you'll understand how foul it is, and be able to identify it with how the thought of that would make you feel.
Yes.
But I cannot actually say it to you.
Yeah. They want someone like a flying monkey, we call it, in narcissism, right? You want a whole bunch of flying monkeys around you. Yeah, F her, son. F her, son. Da. When actually, nah, bro, you're in control of your emotions. Because guess what? If that's not true, then I call it Pinocchio syndrome, right? So if you come home from jail and your girl says, baby, I've been faithful to you. I haven't cheated with nobody. I'm all yours. You be happy. But she said, baby, it wasn't like that. I have been cheating on you. You sad. She's in control of your emotions, right? And what I mean by that is, of course, that should be sad for a brother coming home from jail, right? But when we're our highest selves, we remind ourselves the only person I can control is my own. So if I was to ask you, when's the last time someone made you angry? What would you say?
Someone else?
Yeah, when someone else made you angry.
I got ADHD, bro. I don't be remembering shit. But I would maybe somebody at the light. Maybe a car stopped at a green light and the shit was supposed to be red. I was trying to pick up my kids.
Yes.
Why did you stop?
Frustrating.
You know
right?
what I'm saying? Something like that.
And now, if I were to tell you, because you seem like a very bright man, if I were to tell you that only you are in control of your emotions.
I was about to say that. If you asked me somebody made me mad, I would probably say it was me.
Absolutely. So something was going on before that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Could you go back to what was going on through that day before they got to that light?
Yeah, I probably could. I knew that I had to be here to record something and somebody else wasn't ready when they said they was going to be ready, even though I had a plan.
Yeah.
So now you're throwing me off. I'm worried about being judged by my baby mothers for not picking up the kids on time. And so now I'm trying to drive.
And now, did you respond with a middle finger? What kind of road rager are you? Did you keep it moving? Did you yell?
I just tapped the thing and leaned back like, well,
right?
Like,
and so all that you just mentioned is your prefrontal cortex open or closed at that point?
Probably closed.
Exactly. Or trying to.
Trying
and when
to
you
close.
hit, and when you hit it with that,
Open.
right? But how much people going to jail today in New York City because of road rage?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to control another vehicle that's not even yours.
Yeah.
You have to get a license to control this one.
Mm-hmm.
They had to get a license to control that one. I mention it because I don't drive no more, but when I go back to my past self, I'm so mad at my past self. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you was really trying to, it's a super megaton vehicle. You were trying to control other megaton vehicles.
But the funny thing is that you had all of the options not to be late before you even got in this car.
That too.
Us black people, we something else.
That
with
too.
Showing up right on time.
My brother.
And being mad at everybody else. 'Cause
Yes.
It didn't go the way we
Yup.
planned in our head
Yup.
to show up right
And
on
now,
time.
that thinking now is where we become kings, right? Because if I'm in control of my emotions and then I'm in control of my environment, I will never let this car be the reason that they trigger my anger. Because they can't make me angry. Influence my anger. You can impact my anger. But bruh, I'm not, you're not, I'm not giving you that much power.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
First of all, what's your name, bro?
Yeah.
He just showed up
Yeah.
on the couch. We
Yeah,
sitting here.
man.
We done spoke for minutes.
I
We
am
have not-
Dathan, man. The name of my brand is Mr. Jones Therapy. I've been a social worker for over 15 years, from Rikers to helping women get their kids back from ACS, kids with autism. I was a dean chasing kids around schools for over 4 or 5 years. And my friends call me Bobby Stone because I'm also a musician. But Dathan, it's like Nathan, but with a D. And very seldom licensed mental health therapist in Brooklyn.
I really appreciate you showing up. Shanita is here. She asked you to come sit with
Thanks,
us.
Shanita.
As we speak about domestic violence, Shanita, he could just do this by himself.
You see
I
what
could
I'm
just go
saying?
get
Didn't
some
I tell
kiwi
you?
fruit.
I vouched.
Oh, I love this kind of talk,
I
man.
vouched for him. I worked with him. And I was really impressed by the work I seen him do with the young boys in the school system. Right? Like we had like our Claudies.
Oh, man.
Our different young people
Yeah.
who were like they came in on 10,000. They were like those things you talked about. That moment where you realized that you were doing things to protect that little, you were just in your head in that space. I've seen him work hands on with these boys and make like transformations like you wouldn't believe, like really get them to really dig into themselves. We're talking about elementary young boys. We're talking about young boys.
Yeah.
So,
Doing big boy things.
yes,
man. Yeah.
I've worked with him. I've seen what he's capable of. And that's why I was like, nah, he got to be here. He got to be the one to be here.
Thank you.
I have
you
a
so
question,
much.
though.
Yeah.
When speaking about domestic violence, right? I don't know where it comes from. We've been talking about this all week, but the last thing you mentioned before I asked for the introduction was a word called anger. Why are we so angry? Why do we refer to anger so much, especially in the black community? Does anybody in here have answers?
Oh man, I'm sure there's multiple answers, but I'll start with how could we not be angry? You know what I'm saying? We have every right, I believe, we have every right to be angry. Whether it's the Tuskegee experiment, right? Whether it's, my family's from Antigua, but after that, I can't trace far back, right? My mother's from Marcy Projects. My uncles and them, right? Like, all her brothers and sisters are gone mostly due to drugs. You know what I'm saying? That all these kids pass it, yo, try this weed. For them, that was crack, right? Oh, let me try that weed, right? And like, we have so many reasons to be angry. The world's sexiest man doesn't always look like me or you, right? Like, why does, right? King Kong being chasing this white woman, right? Why are we always chasing somebody? Now I'm walking outside with a white woman and she grabs her purse. And I don't know why. I don't know you. I might have more money than you, right? Why you grabbing your purse, right?
Okay.
And so
Like,
we have so many reasons. I grew up in the Crown Heights riot, right? Gavin Cato is from around the corner from me. I know his family, right? I'm angry to this day To this day, that car hit that little boy, and a Jewish ambulance came, and the way I remember it, they didn't take that little boy to the hospital. And it's like, why? Is there a law, a Jewish law to this? Is there a Jewish law that said they had to take their Jewish brother to the hospital and not this little black boy, right? We got Al Sharpton took a bag and left, and what happened, right? So we have every right to be angry. I guess not even a better question, brother. What might be more useful, how we going to cope with the anger? So we like to start in therapy with exploring our anger. Very good. I'm glad you started there, right? Like, why am I angry? And so when I go back and explore, I don't remember my father smiling very much. And then when I go back further, dag, my father remembers his mother picking cotton in Antigua. My father doesn't remember growing up with his father. Right? So your mother coming home from Antigua, right? Coming home after picking cotton in the hot Antiguan sun, getting licks, I'm sure, for sure, right? And so now I get to empathize with my father, right? I get to look back and say, oh, he wasn't just beating me because he was just bored and had a new belt. This is what he was conditioned to. Oh, Dad, let's go watch a Yankee game, man. Like, I don't got no hatred for you. I see where your anger came from. And I don't remember none of that. I bet you don't, bro. I remember them whelps you left on my back, right? And so that anger now, where we start to understand the history of why you were hitting me that hard, right? What, getting up at 3 a.m, me and my sisters arguing over the TV, he didn't sleep all night. He got to go back to work at 2 a.m. Rah! With his closed prefrontal cortex. Right? And now I'm looking at my dad and I'm saying, he's a lovely man. He was going to church, did what he could. He wasn't just an angry man, right? He was dealing with society. And society was throwing stuff at him that had his prefrontal cortex closed that made him think hitting my child is probably the best thing to do right now.
Shanita.
Yeah. And, as you were talking, it made me think about how that iceberg model, right? How fear is one of those tip of the iceberg type of on the outside type of
great analogy
emotion, right? Underneath the surface are these more complicated, less accepted emotions, especially for men, right? Anger is easy, right? Because it almost absolves you of all that, like the work. You just come in, you just you just kind of like move stuff out the way. It really doesn't require you to sit and think, like you said, your prefrontal cortex closed, you raging, you feel that temporary gratification of like, I just solved this thing. I went in there.
So give me a feeling like less accepted, like sad.
Right. Like, is it okay for, I just called you tender.
Yes.
You was like, don't call me tender.
Don't let that happen again.
Don't call me tender. Don't let it happen again, because I don't want them out here disrespecting my name in these streets.
Think about it. I'm on his side. But think about it. Think of the song. Tender love, tender love. You're so tender. What's wrong with that, right? Yeah. It just don't fit us.
Nah. It don't. Like, you're going to get clowned. You're going to get from the playground. You're getting clowned from the sandbox. You're getting clowned for expressing anything other than anger. Man. It's like anger is a quick fix. When I'm angry, I manhandle. I literally can go in and knock shit over and the problem is solved right then and there. I feel that instant gratification. I don't have to deal with the fact that I'm sad, which is complicated.
Wow.
It's going to require me to dig in and address myself. Anger feels like I could come in and point the finger and solve all of this. And everybody's, you know what I'm saying, you're going to feel my wrath and I'm done. And people's going to look at me like that man. Like, yo, you came in with the 1-2 and you just, you handled it. Yeah. So you got this feeling of, widely accepted anger is okay. As men, we don't really, how often do you check your brother about like some aggressive stuff? Like, you was kind of aggressive. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like accepted amongst us. Like, you even get points in the hood. Like, you even get points in the hood for being a little bit like, yo, he's 730. He crazy. He don't play. Exactly. He's
it's a badge of honor. Anger is a badge of honor.
Fear is more powerful than love. I know y'all might not want to hear that, but fear gets shit done. Fear makes people respect you. Fear makes people move out your way. Love will make a motherfucker stand there and be like, prove I got to move out your way. Like, and
that's true.
Yo, I do think it's so funny that I remember, and I was talking about this the other day. I was like, yo, if I was in the street and I was in this certain situation you would not be handling me this way.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm asking you to respect me, and because I'm trying to talk to you in a way that's just do this out of respect for me, and me coming at you in a loving way, it don't move you that way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't move you that way because love got all of these other edges, or you know, even friendship got all of these other things.
Yes.
Fear is a one-time thing I got to do, and it's fight or flight.
Like I said, it's
You're
automatic.
gonna get the fuck out the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
This car is coming. That bullet coming.
Yep.
These niggas coming.
Yep.
Whatever. Trouble's coming. Dad's coming. Mom's coming. You know what to do.
Yep.
So that won't come down.
Mm-hmm.
When it come to love and tenderness.
Yes. You're right.
It don't move.
You're
that
right.
way. It don't move
You're right.
the same
And
way.
anger helps sometimes. How many times a mother says, clean your room, clean your room. Dad, you heard what your mother said, right? The kid rush up and go
That
clean your room.
octave is
Right
like
there.
I don't know what
Right?
it is.
And that's
Right
not
there.
really anger, but there's a
Snap it.
firmness under the umbrella of anger. There's firmness. There's this discipline kind of thing. Yeah.
And it literally activates the survival. Fear activates the survival instinct in us.
Yes.
Right? So when I am afraid, like I told you, the only thing I'm thinking about is removing the threat. The only thing I'm not thinking about, you know, like I said, the trickle effect that it will have if I do it this way, or I'm not thinking about how it's going to impact her later on. You know, if I feel a threat, if I feel unsafe, the only thing I'm thinking about is getting safe. The only thing I'm thinking about is removing that threat from my environment. So you're right. I'm going to respond.
Do y'all think that men believe, if I said fear is more powerful than love, do y'all think that men believe that women will listen to them or respect them the same way when it comes to love as they do as when it comes to fear?
I don't think we have enough examples that actually works, because it does. I see people who have love, who women, you haven't even experienced a woman really until you've experienced a woman who is being loved correctly. You have not even understood the power of what she can do, when she feels safe, right? So you got a cycle going on here. The women don't feel safe, so they act out, they whatever. They act like, you know, this term that's going around, masculine or whatever the case may be. She's in survival mode, so she's doing these things. So the men thinks that she's being disrespectful. She doesn't respect them, not knowing that, like, literally, love is the answer to that. I don't think we have enough examples. I think that we don't believe it because we really don't see it. We don't know what it really looks like for, like you said, your mom. Look at your foundation. What's your examples of seeing a woman properly loved? How do you know that actually works?
I don't think I've seen it.
You don't know because you never seen it. We don't know that it works, but it does. I'm telling you, through all my experiences,
Yeah. I've seen. I was fortunate to grow up with mom and dad, man, and 4 brothers, 3 siblings, and just gratitude is my favorite word when it comes to that, because I didn't grow up with a lot of friends that had that, and they just celebrated their 50th anniversary. Shout out to them. And
wow, 50.
so I've seen him, 50 years married, man, and I've seen them. However, I've seen homies at least what looks like giving the effort that way and receive not the same love that I saw my dad get. And I've watched them grow into fearmongers instead of lovers. You know what I'm saying? So where it's like, nah, you ain't gonna walk over me no more, right? Did this, did the trips, did this loving thing. And maybe because my mom was in the 40s, 50s, 60s, I don't know if a lot changed in the environment that impacts love too. So it's kind of like a little bit unfair, you know.
I like that. You're right.
You know,
Cause she talking like it's just that easy to get that love response.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm talking about a guy that's trying to be a certain way with his girl, but she is not. The response isn't one that makes him feel masculine, manly, accepted, or whatever it may be, and then his response reverts to anger. Let's get you to move this way. Since the love and
which
the trying
is
to
that
be
cycle that probably is not going to work, probably.
Yeah.
Depending on
I mean, we can't put a pinpoint on where that starts. I think you're right. I think it's not as simple as I was trying to say. You know, I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying it's simple. I'm saying
You're saying it's possible.
it's possible, right? Right. It's possible. I think that you're right. Like,
think about it this way. I was watching a divorce lawyer, brother and sister. He was saying that over 60% of the divorce rate or marriage, whatever math, and then he said how much people are together just for the children. So he said, or just unhappy. He said it's another 70, 80%. And he said, if I told you if you go outside right now, piano gonna fall on your head, you have an 80% chance, you probably wouldn't go outside.
Exactly.
All right. And so those rates are very much different than in the 60s. Like, you need me to own this property.
right.
You ain't gonna be telling me, talking to me crazy. Where my food at? Or, right? Like, you need me, right? And I need you, right? Because I don't have this skill. So let's talk up to each other differently and stuff. Now you don't need me to own no property. And so I think one of the things that impact it is timing. Social media, you know, oh, why she liking your picture? My pops don't have to deal with nothing like that, right? Just unnecessary micro stuff, I think, like, just plays a big role. And, you know.
Yeah, and we've been rightfully tricked out. We've been tricked out of our places, our rightful places, as men and women.
Women or black people?
People, black people in general. We've been tricked out of our rightful places. Like, we also have to understand there's a machine behind a lot of this, right? Like, there's a greater objective. Like, the black family is so powerful. Like, if you really raise up your kids in an environment of love, like, that's the answer to all the things that we experience and all of the, like, that's it. And so, of course, there's these agendas to separate us, to keep going. I mean, like, we can go down the line. We can go down crack. We can go down Section 8. We could talk about social media now. We could talk about the music. We could talk about, like, there's always been an undercurrent of keeping the black woman and man kind of at odds with each other. So I think, like, you're right. It's not just a simple, I'm going to love her. She's going to, we've been conditioned. There's a conditioning that needs to be unpacked. There's a mindset. There's a, like, evolution of that narrative. I know we talk about it on podcasts, but it really lives in a lot of people. They've been raised by women who be like, niggas. You know what I'm saying? Men that be like, these women ain't nothing. Like, it's like a real passing down of a generational kind of thing. And it's gonna take these conversations. It's gonna take us holding each other accountable. It's going to take us, like, realizing that what we see on social media, like, that's not the real world, y'all. It's not like there's people really thriving in love. Like, black love exists, but the machine profits from us thinking that it doesn't and that it's not possible. And so I just feel like bigger than this, love me and I'll be soft and then you'll like, no, it's not that. It's not as simple as that. There's a lot to go on. You know, I don't get into those things about, like, women being masculine, all that stuff, but women, I will say, we do have, like, I just got divorced. I've been divorced for a year, after 15 years.
Congratulations, and I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things. I'm not, you know.
She's very resilient. She's being modest.
Right. So, one thing I realized when I don't even want to say I'm back in the dating scene. I'm not really. I'm resistant. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just here. One of the things I realized was that the men are hurt. And black women, we hurt them. Like, I realized, I was like, do the men still like women? Like, do they still like us? Because I realized that they were, like, really hurt, like, because I consider myself to be a really soft, like, accepting, you know, nurturing type of person, and you could see almost like the release when I would have these conversations with these men. Like, they were like, oh my God, like, you're so safe.
This is not how they out here talking to us. They don't talk like you. I'm telling you,
safe.
They telling us to go die in a war.
Yeah.
They're literally telling us, you men used to go to war and die. And now you're on the internet telling women about their nails. Like,
so, like, women, I will say this. I'm not talking about, like, you know, that podcast wars, but I'm just saying that we do, you know, there is power in our femininity and our ability to be, you know, nurturers and things like that. And not even just for romantic situations, but like I feel like we also should feel a sense of responsibility just for our men in general, like vice versa. Like why don't we as black women just want to see black men heal? Even if I don't want to be with you, I don't want to, you're not my man, but like, I care about black men. Like see, my daughters is going out into this world.
I gotta
like,
applaud that, man, for positive.
I want black men to thrive because like this is us. Like this is how we, make it to the next level. This is how we get out of that system. Like our men gotta lead us out of. They gotta take us out. So it's like we gotta collectively feel responsible for them. Like just like they should feel responsible for us. Like these are our men.
I agree. I was at a Black King celebration last week. Shout out to the Juneteenth folks, and they had women doing a dance like Wakanda Coming to America thing. Yeah. And all the ladies went on the side that was dancing, put their hands up like this, and 20 black men with crowns came out. And I got emotionally, I just started crying. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that in my life. Right here on Bedford and Lincoln. I was just like,
that's dope.
Goosebumps, look. You know what I'm saying? It was just so dope to see. And I was just like, and then the lady was on the stage, like, she said exactly what you just said. Right? We need to take care of them. We need to hold them down. And I'm so, who's cutting on you? Right. And I wasn't even one of the brothers being honored, but I was one of the brothers being honored.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, bro. I didn't know none of them. I didn't know not one until the end. I went to all of them. But I just felt so good. And it's like, we don't have a lot of that. So thank you for that.
Agreed.
I think that's what we need. That's what we need.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Now, Shanita, I see you have your index cards over there. You're famous cards right now on this podcast for your index cards.
What you got? What you
got for us?
Okay, let's go to the keys. We were talking about the keys, right? We said, how do we move forward?
I don't move keys, man. That's a different podcast.
That's a different time.
Nah, we talk about keys that unlock doors, right? Keys that unlock doors.
We talk about the same one.
Vlad drink
for sure.
All right, y'all.
What do you got for us? Man, what a week. This has been an intense week. Yeah, man. This has been an intense week.
I think I was kind of trying to figure out how we develop a process, right? What does the process of healing actually look like for us, right? For someone who might be in a cycle right now, someone who might be in a trauma bond, right? Because that's important. I think you mentioned that without mentioning it on the last episode when you talked about the woman you were involved with and how y'all kind of going back and forth, trauma bonded. Y'all were trauma bonded, right? And I don't think men identify themselves in a trauma bond, right? Like I don't know that they understand that when you are in a cycle of abuse or you're in a cycle where it's ups and downs like that, your brain begins to register that as love, as how you receive love, right? And it's almost like it becomes a drug. Like you you looking for that up. You looking for that hit. You looking for that up. You looking for that up. You know what I'm saying? You and after that up, a lot of times it comes like a love bombing stage. So you like, I know even if we go up, afterwards we gonna be like, it's gonna be crazy.
Way.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy.
You think that meant, I used to have this thing where I used to say, I'm addicted to broken people. Do you think that I'm actually out there looking for somebody that I can trauma bond with? Like,
or if your brain is processing that as love, like think about that over time. Every time you've been in a situation that because first of all, one of the things when we're born, we look for a caretaker, right? Like babies, they need that primary love, that bonding, that attachment from a primary caregiver, right? Once we grow, that person becomes like a spouse, right? Like you start to look for them to be that person who shows you that, like that love that you're desiring. If the cycle is always this toxic up and down, whatever, you begin to look for that. You begin to
desire that,
process that as my love.
Possibly, yep. Yeah. So do you find yourself, is that a fair statement, that addicted to broken people? Oh, let me ask you a different question. do you find yourself in relationships or past where you find yourself feeling like, I'm filling up this bucket of water, but the bucket got a hole in it?
Yeah. I feel like that. I do that often.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like
so, and so, like women who constantly attract the people that abuse, right? It's like, yo, my high school boyfriend was hitting me. My college boyfriend was hitting me. My baby father hit me. Like, why my last 8 people hit me? And y'all were talking about it earlier. Y'all were talking about branding. Y'all didn't use the word, but branding. How do we brand ourselves to people? Right? And so I'm also someone who, now that I'm aware of it, right, being more mindful of why am I always ending up with someone that needs uplifting, right? Like, why is it, like, there's lawyers, therapists, I'm a therapist, right? And how we brand ourselves is important. So you want to, I like you, right? What do we say? What men, forget me and you. What do men sees a girl, what does he say to her? He wants to have sex with her. What does he say to her?
You want to get a drink?
Everything.
Get a drink?
Nah,
All right, both of y'all help me out. No, this is good.
I'm gonna marry you.
This is good. Yeah. So when you go get the drink, is she buying for the drink?
No.
All right.
I'm
Are they buying the drink?
Who? The
The
woman?
guy.
The guy. Yeah, they buying the drink. They buying a lot of the drinks. So they like
Branding.
Get you.
What's the
Branding. I've just branded, and eventually, right? What does the woman give me? Sex, right? Right? But there's a guy on earth who's complaining that when he was with her, she didn't give him no sex. When we moved in together, we stopped having sex. When we got committed, we stopped having sex. But she's branding to me, though, that she liked to get freaky. I'm branding to you that I pay for everything. You branding to me that you're a freak. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Because when we move in, all of a sudden, what happened?
Bills.
Women, and now, you're not going to pay for that? You're not going to pay for that? I branded that to you. Yo, we're not going to have sex? Oh, we had sex. We didn't have sex in 2 months. Okay, we finally have sex. I'll come back again. Didn't we just have sex yesterday? Girl, we used to be in a hotel going through a whole box. You know, the 3-pack, right? So
12.
Branding, yep, 12. So branding, y'all, is a lot of reasons why we end up in those relationships, whether it's vice versa. Yeah, it could be a role of he grew up with a caretaker and want to be with a caretaker, but it could be the opposite because hurt people heal people too, right? But it's this whole branding. So now I'm just more mindful about how I brand myself, right? Because I don't know why someone that's being abused keep attracting an abusive guy, but they got to explore that why. But I know why I keep attracting this people where it makes me feel like I'm filling up a bucket of water and the bucket got a hole in it. I'm a loving man, right? Christ was loving. Christ was very giving, right? And so I come from that. I'm used to giving. I grew up with 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Give. And we don't want nothing back, but we do.
Do you think that there could be a level of getting somebody that's easy because you desire somebody to like you. You desire somebody to praise you, to want you, to look at you as they all. A person with the hole in the bucket,
they need you.
They need you.
Ooh.
They need you.
Right?
They need you.
Versus you having to prove yourself for consistency. It's a higher, if this is your thing, it's a higher goal to reach.
Yes.
That you probably like, that's dangerous.
Ooh.
It
That's a
requires
little
work
scary.
on your part too.
That's too scary.
It requires like real work on your part.
That's
Ooh.
You would have to do so much work to get one of those people who doesn't need you.
And so,
because she's like,
we be self-sabotaging, brother.
self-sabotaging.
oh, she don't need you. You gotta be something. You gotta be worth.
Yep.
You gotta be.
And
doing
guess
your work.
what? And so I struggle with that, right? Because I feel like if I have a bachelor's in sociology, a master's in social work, and my license, sis, you could work at Walmart, right? We could do this. You could get the same thing as me. I could lift you up. The issue is after I lift this bum ass nigga, this me. I wonder who I lift you up. And you're the one. You was a receptionist. Now I done help pay for your tuition. I done help build you up, and now I'm a bum ass. You know what I'm saying? And I've been through that over 3-4 times, right?
Yeah.
So now, what would Kevin Samuels say? Why was you even with her?
Not Kev. Okay.
Kevin Samuel would say, so you have them credentials? He would say, we talked about him before, right? I felt his delivery, it could have been some adjustment. But he would say to people like us, bro, you got your own podcast, you handsome, you beautiful, you know you beautiful, and y'all talk to other girl in another Dollar Tree. That's what he would say, right? And so I think there needs to be a balance there, or respect this person that put the ladder back down for you, my sister. And some brothers too, right? I have I know a brother who, a lady was a politician making big money, and he flipped it on her. She built him up, and he did exactly that, so, yeah.
Because a lot of times people, you ain't,
Can I take,
yes.
I got the Baptist finger. That's my baby girl.
Yeah.
She's getting out of school. Can I take a minute?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Great combo.
Take that note. What time is it, brother?
2:35.
Hey. I told you I was doing the podcast. We're like, I need about 45 minutes.
15 minutes.
I'm coming. Can you go get Michael? Oh, you with Michael? Is he allowed to go? To go to the dance? I guess so. Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of bouncing around, which is great combo.
Can you find out if he's allowed to go to his dance or not?
That you think we need to touch on?
Okay.
We have 15
15 minutes?
before you gotta
Yeah.
go.
She said
Should be
something.
3:30.
Oh,
I don't
the
know.
cycle
Don't they
of
have to wear
healing.
uniform?
Right?
Let's
Yeah.
discuss.
Absolutely.
All right. Call me back. With Michael, if he can't go to his dance, you have to bring him with you. Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
There was something I was gonna say when he was talking. I know y'all just said something that y'all wanted to say, but
You had mentioned the cycle of healing. So he was like, if there's something that we missed or go back, so we didn't really unravel that cycle of healing thing.
But when you were talking about those things,
The hole in the bucket.
Getting
Whether
the
you be with somebody you
No,
need
you
to.
repeating the same relationships.
no, you were talking about this process of a person not appreciating, and like you meet these people that you help them up, and then they whatever. But then I'm like, what I was thinking was, I was like, in our community, we focus a lot on these tangible things, like what kind of job you had, what kind of master's degree you got, and all of these things, and we miss the character of the person. Like you can get a woman out the Dollar Tree.
Yes.
That's a badass woman.
Yes.
That's full of grace and support and willing, like, you know what I'm saying?
She know how to stock that fridge.
Exactly. So I don't want us to put labels on what we should be looking for in a partner on the outside, because listen, I've been with men who have some level of power and they empty inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you get the street dude who's like the kindest man, the most stand-up guy you ever want to meet. Like, I just feel like sometimes we let these podcasts and we let these people tell us what, if you're a woman, if he can't, and you miss the real
My dad
essence of the person. Like, so what if he's, got a job that he's making six figures? Is he a kind person? Sis, will you want to deal with a man who's paying your bills but treating you like crap?
I feel like
I don't know
that you just nailed it. A lot of times people are with people for what they can do for them, not who they are. So you say, I was with somebody that was such and such and such, but he's a piece of crap. But you liked him because he gave you access to certain things and a certain type of lifestyle.
Because I was told that's what I had to have.
Right, but he treats you like shit.
Yeah.
Or she might, the Dollar Tree girl might have been with the guy because he was able to provide a certain thing. She could see a way out. But innately, she ain't really like him.
Yeah.
Innately, it was always a means to an end.
Absolutely.
And I believe that dating these days consists of a lot of means to an end. I always wonder, like, people don't think in forever no more. It's really a swipe left generation. Everybody's like, what's next?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I am a foolish sucker for love ass Pisces that wants forever.
Yeah.
I want to cultivate forever.
You think it's attainable?
If we can figure out that cycle of healing that y'all were talking about. Because
I'm with you.
You got to find yourself in all of the problems that you have with people. Why is that so much of a problem for you?
Yes.
Why aren't you able to move past this?
Yep.
Why do you keep repeating the same type of behavior?
Yeah.
And for me personally, in my group, I've been the common denominator and all of the ups, the downs, the everything. It's always been me. Something in me happened. Something in me reacted. Something in me didn't work in that, and I couldn't get past it. I wasn't able to figure it out. It was just like, I gotta destroy this. I need to destroy it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some of that off for you, because one thing I
They
tell my
have
daughter,
their own pattern too.
One thing I tell my daughter, because she's somebody who my baby girl, my spicy one I told y'all about. You know, she's you know who my spicy daughter is. So
God bless your children.
yeah, but God bless her. One thing I tell her all the time, because she has a real hard time taking accountability for what something happens. I said, and this goes for everybody. This is gonna help you realize that you are to blame, but so are they. You know why? Because every time you find yourself in a situation, no matter what the situation is, the common denominator, the thing that you have to realize is that you played a part in it. There's no way you can't play a part in a situation that you find yourself in.
That's growth. Now, all I hope is that they're somewhere saying, I'm the common denominator.
Never.
That's why. And so my brother.
Especially if they're Virgo.
Sorry.
No, seriously.
I'm glad he said that, right? Because in couples counseling,
I had to.
and on Sundays I do couples counseling. And sometimes a lot of people come to me and say, should we go to couples counseling? Not until you heal individually, right? There's something in you that's saying, I played a role, or everything is a relationship.
Everything.
My relationship with water, relationship with alcohol, former coworker, relationship with you, whether new or old.
You got a relationship with my couch right now.
There you go. There you go.
You remember how that couch made you feel.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? You were like,
Absolutely.
it was a soft couch. Or, I'm not going back over there. That was a hard couch. I don't like being in there.
You are absolutely right.
Get somebody else to do it.
Absolutely.
There's a relationship.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I saw you fixing the camera, I'm like, oh, you know what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
His relationship with technology, right? And so how am I going to fix a relationship with you before I fix a relationship with myself?
That's the bar right there.
Right? To a couple, I did a consultation the other day, and the dude was telling me, Jamaican dude, yeah, man, sometimes I text them, yeah, and I shouldn't text them, and I love accountability. Yo, thank you for holding yourself in front of his wife, right? Thank you for holding yourself accountable, brother. I appreciate that, and sharing that. I'm a stranger. Thank you. We get to the wife. He said, he's like, yeah, but she disrespect me. She come in, F me this, F me that, F me da da, and she like, yup. Right? Like she's on the camera. Yup, right? That's something she gotta work on by herself. Right?
So what you because they working on?
I'm gonna say
what
this,
you gonna do in the meantime?
So y'all can still come to couples counseling, but she needs to go to her own individual counselor, and he needs to go to his own individual counselor. In fact, we encourage y'all do that and then come back to us, because her selfish, nasty mouth and your selfishness and the way you deal with stuff are two things that y'all not gonna fix together. You gotta fix that on your own, right, miss? We got to tell you that with your emotions, that when you get mad, you shouldn't curse at people. How you going to get a job? What's your relationship with your boss? What's your relationship with your children? Relationship with your mother, right? You, brother, you say you have an issue with respecting women. We got to explore what's the relationship with grandma? What's the relationship with that? Y'all probably shouldn't be married right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's too late for that, right? And so back to just the part of healing. You got to grieve individually. Right? Me and my sister lost our grandmother. Right? Her healing process is different than mine. Right? She's still crying. I'm in a different mood. Right? Because I did my grieving first. Right? And she probably jumped into time heals all, which is one of the worst things to say during death or grieving. No, you got to embrace the grief. It hurt when my daddy beat me. It hurt when I was 8 and that went through that. Once we deal with that pain, that is part of the healing process. Once you get hit, ow, you got to get, ow. You got to say ow first before you get a Band-Aid and alcohol and cream, right? And so individually, and then that's the process. Being aware that, yo, I'm hurt. What's the feeling?
Or being aware, like I say to my daughters, again, I'm going to say it all the time. If you find yourself in a situation and you can't, and you don't know what you did to get in that situation, you on the wrong path. every situation
play a
you
role.
find yourself in, your first thought should be to figure out how you got in that
Yes.
situation, not what somebody else did, not what they said
What's
or
my
what
favorite
triggered
statement?
you. I
I
don't-
statements.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
So-
statements, right?
So yeah, so
People come to us, yo, such and such, such and such. All right, let's start over. Just use I statements.
if your first,
Yeah.
Can't do
Right?
yeah.
Can't
It's
do it.
easy to say what he did and what she did. What role did you play, brother?
Let me ask y'all a question. This sounds great. Sounds amazing.
Mhm.
And I'm in these podcast wars. I'm on these
Yeah.
motherfuckers every day.
Mhm.
The women are saying they're going to therapy. They can't get the men to go. Is
They
that
got a
y'all
valid
experience?
argument. They got a valid argument. I mean, statistically, they have a valid argument there.
I want to ask you this question. You probably was going to answer it. Why don't men like going to therapy? What are we afraid of? Or
Yeah.
what do we find to be like the...
You see earlier when you said your brethren walk with you to the park? I would argue not only because you have a warm way of speaking and you're very charismatic, I think that he felt comfortable speaking to someone that
just
looked
called
like
me
you.
Tender.
Nah.
That
That
That was a
it.
synonym.
Yeah, he
I said
it
it better
in a different
though.
way.
I
It was- but
I did the
did you see-
Bed-Stuy
did you hear
version.
that? There's a-
I got the Bed-Stuy version. You know what I mean? But I feel they don't have people to speak to. That's just it. They don't have. I don't want to talk as long as I know her and her family. There's certain things that I would rather talk to you, and I just met you as a black man.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
relevance,
You know what I'm saying?
relevant.
Culturally relevant, right? And it's like stuff that I couldn't. My father never taught me about no condoms, right? I had to learn that on my own. You know, so I would definitely feel more comfortable, and I think that's why they don't go. And then the second part is, if you tell people you go to therapy, it sounds like I'm crazy.
Psychologist.
Yeah.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, like something psychotic is like wrong with me. And but a lot of my white clients, they act like it's the gym. Like their friends are, you don't have a therapist?
Right.
Like,
What are you doing with your life?
Why are you next to us? Ew. You know what I'm saying? So we better get on it, because guess what? As black people get to know more and more that it come from us, actually, we gonna be sitting around. Keisha, you don't got no Keisha ain't got no therapy. Keisha gonna be looking stupid.
And there's a part of
Raheem gonna be looking stupid, because everybody, it's our stuff. Mental health, you know. And then one last thing I gotta share. Y'all went to school in here, around here?
Yeah.
New York?
Yeah.
I'm from Yonkers, New York,
PS44.
y'all.
PS44?
113.
All right. With all due
I'm
respect,
not from here.
do y'all remember being the public classes and the special ed classes?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What was different with the special ed classes?
Smaller, probably.
Smaller.
Short bus.
Did they play with us?
Nah.
They kind of kept them away from us, right? All right, cool. And everybody has different delays, right? Now, we leave high school. Where did they go?
I don't know. I never seen them again.
I'm sorry, that's a question I always wanted to ask.
Where'd they go? The girl yelling at me from Dollar Tree, bro. The girl yelling at you, talking about the bucket ain't empty. The bucket's empty. You ain't doing enough. Arr. Where'd they go? So we are dealing with a whole bunch. We got our own trauma. They at the bank. They giving you your curry, your roti, bro. They amongst us.
Yo, this
Yes.
Yo, they amongst us.
Right? And you like, let's go have a drink. She like, okay, wait till you get to. Where's tender self?
Yo, we needed that in the
We
show.
gotta go back and deal with this trauma, brother. We all traumatized. We all have trauma, and we all are dealing with people next to us that have trauma. And I think that's where we gotta start, right? We jump into love and gratitude. We got some wounds,
You
man.
was
We got
saying-
some unresolved conflict.
You were saying that a lot of times men feel more comfortable talking to their boys or talking to people.
Yeah,
Like
that look like
me.
them preferably.
So Are there no therapists out there that look like us?
Not much. In fact, I had a psychology profile today up when I first started, and I had to take it down because I don't have room for more clients, and people are looking for. So black male therapists, we need you. It's like it's a pandemic. There's no. Well, look at it this way. When I went to City College, Hunter College, getting my degrees, it was only white women in the classrooms, right? Some black women. If there is a black male, it's more like a gay male, gay black male, right? Sometimes they would want a straight male to speak to. Some of our gay brothers need a gay black therapist to speak to as well, right? And so by the time I went to go take my licensing exam, I was the only black dude in there. Yep. And I failed it by 3 points and wasn't going to go back because it's that hard, right? I had to get 100. I got a 97.
Oh, shit.
And I had to pay for it again. So it's a hard license to get. It's
What?
not easy.
You had to get 100?
You got to get over 100 right, man.
I was
Right?
able to get 10 wrong on the CDL test. I'm driving a
Oh,
40-ton
man.
truck through the streets. I could do way more damage than him.
Yeah, way more. Way more.
God damn.
Man, and so it's discouraging, and so I get it, but guess what? Why would they be? This goes back to everything we're talking about. The machine. If I can get brothers to manage their emotions, yo, she hurt your feelings. What happened when she hurt your feelings, son? Yo, I felt hurt. I felt sad. I felt disappointed. All right, you notice any tension in your body? Yeah, son, I felt some tension in my chest. I felt some tension in my jaw. Boom, boom. All right, cool. We getting closer now. What can you do next time when you're feeling like that? I don't know. What make that go away?
Breathe.
You can breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and inhale for 8 seconds, and
Box
exhale for
breath
8
back.
seconds. You can do that 4 times, and I guarantee you your prefrontal cortex are open and feel like you bust a nut or worked out.
Say it again.
Breathe in for 4 seconds through your nose.
I might write this down.
Hold it down for 7 and exhale for 8. It's called the 4-7-8 method. You could Google it. And it opens up it's one of the breathing techniques. Now, when that happens, guess what? Your prefrontal cortex open and you start to say stuff like, if I smack her, I might do life. If I smack her, she might hit her head and fall and bleed to death. You know what? I'm out. Boom. Empty private prison bed. They don't like me. They don't like me. I mess up the money.
Yo, my brother, it has been a pleasure having you here today.
Same, man.
I want to
Same.
have you back because we had you
Please.
for a short period of time.
Please,
today.
please,
But
man.
we need to have you. This nigga is hilarious. He is hilarious.
Laughter is therapy, brother. You gotta man. Thank you
Please
for
tell
having
these
me.
people where to find you.
Yes, so you can find me, Mr. Jones Therapy, MrJones Therapy, and a lot of quotes, positive affirmations. So being that I can't see individual clients till I close some cases, I just give therapy to my Instagram on social media. And you can follow me, Bobby Stone Music. I got an album coming out this summer, so check it out. It added some therapy components to it as well.
Dope.
And yeah, that's it. Oh, and that's my clothing line. If it's the onomatopoeia of a DJ scratching a record. If it.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. Like bam, boom. If it. You caught it?
Nah, he's cerebral.
Yeah.
He's cerebral.
So I want to thank you so much, brother. Keep up the
No,
good work, man.
Thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. We needed this. It's been a heavy week. So you showing up and adding your gems combined with laughter and insight was just very much so needed, bro.
Good.
Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope to be back, man.
Shanita,
Yes.
how you feeling?
I am so happy that this conversation happened, and I'm so glad that my gut was like, I gotta have Dathan here. You know
Yeah,
why?
we gotta
Because I
have these
want them to
combos.
see therapy doesn't have to look like. So tell me what
Yeah,
you're you know what I mean.
We're trying to get better at that.
Right. It doesn't look like what they.
Therapists, it's our fault too.
It's not all flowers and foo-foo fee-fee language.
Tell me
He
about your
said, yo,
childhood.
son, what you feeling?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and
Yep.
I need y'all to
Yep.
know that.
They say that. Yo, I love you talk to me like that. I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm gonna talk to you.
In a language they can understand. And so that's why I'm so glad that we had this conversation. And I'm hoping that we are, working to break this narrative about therapy and what it could look like, especially in our community. So I'm just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
I try to talk to people about getting therapy, and everybody's like, "What you say? What you trying to say?" And I'm like, "That you're human.
Yeah.
You need somebody trained
good
to listen
answer.
to you. trained to give you like real answers that can help you, rather than just trauma bonding, throwing their shit on top of your shit. You know, somebody that actually wants to hear your story. I hate when I'm telling somebody something and then they telling me their shit. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to tell you what the fuck I got going on.
I remember that time I lost my apartment too. It's like, nah.
And somebody who don't got all that background information on you, they want to add the context.
Yes,
to
and I'm not going to be biased, right? Like you said, accountability. So dudes, a quick story, the dude runs up to his homies, beat up face, tell his homies, they like, yo, what happened to your face, son? He says a bunch of dudes on another block, I won't mention, jumped him. So they all get together and go defend this clown. Unbeknownst to them, they needed to hold him accountable because he was trying to talk to a little girl. And somebody from that block saw him and they gave him what he actually deserved. And if y'all only knew and asked questions, y'all probably would have beat him up too. But now, one of your homies is going to jail for hitting a little kid, right? And another dude is going to jail and another dude is gone, right? And it's like all because we didn't hold accountability. So now if you come to me as a therapist with your face beat up, I'm going to ask you what happened.
What'd you do?
Right? Your cousin and them, yo, where they at? Where the ops at? Right? Your girlfriend, come here, baby. Who did it? Yo, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Unbiased. So dudes just came up to you and just started snuffing you? All right. Take me back a little bit more, man. Nah, what happened was, I bet.
This girl.
Right?
Yeah.
And through me, I just saved a whole bunch of lives. Right? Because now I'm going to talk to you about you talking to little girls. Right? I just saved your homies from something because I'm holding you accountable because they not. Right? So accountability.
Well, teaching you how to hold yourself accountable.
Teaching you how to hold yourself accountable. And another part people miss about therapy, life coaching. Right? I have clients buying houses. Right? I don't even got a house, right? Because that's not my goal right now. Right? But if it's your goal, we getting it. We getting it. Yo, pull out your budget. Next time, boom, brainstorm. Boom, we do a whole plan. Right? So it's not just tell me about your childhood. Yo, what you want to accomplish? Right? I got clients who've never been to open mics. I got old white ladies auditioning in the ballet. Right? Because you going to leave Earth with regrets talking about you wish you could have? You know what? I'm going to go tonight. Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Yes.
So we want to add some light to it, man. The old school kind of therapy, I could see why people are a little turned off too. But yeah, we coming through with this new age, this new
school.
vibe.
Did you say it's
new
that
school?
Your thing? Yeah.
My brand is called the New Old School.
The New Old School.
We are bridging the gap. Yes, we are. Yes. We are bridging the gap with some real lyrics, real substance, real. One of my favorite things is KRS. You must learn that video. They are dancing. They are dancing in the video to education. I still get crazy over there. They're winding up to no one told about Benjamin Banneker. Like what? That was us. Right? Garrett Morgan made the traffic light. Harriet Tubman freed the slaves at night. They were dancing and winding on each other, right? And so that's the New Old School. We want to bridge that gap.
It is now 4:02. I want you to make sure that you get
yes,
to where
sir.
you gotta go.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all much,
my
man.
My couch is very comfortable to him.
It's super comfortable. And now we have this new relationship.
Yes, we do. Thank you all for showing up. Shanita, thank you for this week. It has been amazing. I hope you would come back and sit with us more often as well.
Yes.
I'm honestly just humbled by this week's conversation. Thank you all for helping us work through this. You know what I'm saying? I will be posting the information in the description in the comments. Y'all already know where to find us. Here next week, same time. Maybe same time. I don't know. Y'all know we say 5, maybe 6, 7, whatever. So Shameless. That was fucking fire.
Yo.
That was
fun, man. I love your energy, man. Great energy in the room. You can feel it. You can touch it. You can feel the energy.
Yo, this is what I said. I told you.